Hello fellow geeks and welcome back to Running Geek Girl. My name is Heather, and whether this is your first time or your 10th time, I am glad you are here. Now, if this is your first time here, then maybe consider hitting that subscribe button so that you don't miss any of the running content I have coming out all the time. Now, recently I have kind of done a little mindset trick when I have gone on long runs, and it has particularly helped me with half marathons, especially during the St. Jude Half Marathon. It's a little trick that I learned from an elite runner, so why don't you come inside with me? I've just finished up a run. Let's go in and talk about it. Many of you may be familiar with pro runner Brittany Charboneau. She's on Instagram as funnyrunner26.2, so I'll have a link to her if you would like to check her out. You may have heard of her because last year in 2022, she won all 4 races at Disney's Marathon Weekend. She talked in interviews about some of the mindset tricks that she did with herself during the different courses of those races, and I borrowed one of them, and it has really worked out well for me. So one of the things that she talked about in interviews was about coming up with different mantras, different emotions, different colors that she wanted to channel during different points in the race. And so I thought that I would kind of borrow that concept myself, and I specifically tried it out during the St. Jude Half Marathon in Memphis last month. So I thought I would just go over with you what I did with it and how it worked for me. Let's go. So the first thing that I did was I divided the race up into different sections. So I divided it up into 2-mile sections each. Each section was going to be represented by a color, and each color would be thought of through a mantra. And so let me just kind of break it down a little further of what I did there. So mile 1 and 2, I started with the color red. And what I did was I just kind of focused on that color. I tried to think about that color, surround myself with that color. I would find things on the course that were that color to draw my attention. And to go along with the color red, I used the mantra, run with your heart. So for the first 2 miles, I concentrating on running with my heart, having a full heart that was ready to go out, to do good, to do a race, to put everything that I had into this. So I started out with red. Miles 3 and 4, I moved on to the color orange. So again, looking for colors out on the course that were orange. And then I started thinking about the color orange, and I focused on the mantra, run with courage. And this was particularly meaningful because at this point in the St. Jude Half Marathon, this is where we were starting to go through the St. Jude campus. I just saw the courage in all of those families that were there to support us, and it just kind of really filled my heart. It gave me the energy to keep going. So mile 3 and 4 was orange, and that was run with courage. Mile 5 and 6 is when I focused on the color yellow. Again, looking for yellow out on the course, and my mantra was to run with joy. So I tried to find the joy, the happiness in everything around me. I looked for smiles on faces. I tried to give smiles to other people. I thought about all the things that were going right. And trust me, at this point in a race, there are lots of things that could go wrong. And so I started thinking about what was going well, what was going right, and tried to channel all of my mind on that. So focus on yellow and the mantra being run with joy. This got me to the halfway point of the race, which is kind of a crucial part in the race because you know that you've finished half of it, but you still have half to go. So mile 7 and 8, I'm sure you can see where this is going. I moved on to the color green. I focused on the color green, looked for green around me, and my focus, my mantra for those 2 miles was run in peace. So I tried to settle everything inside me. I tried to focus on finding a nice constant pace and just being comfortable with that. I was trying to focus on keeping myself calm, not trying to wear myself out before I could get to the end of the race. Miles 9 and 10, my focus was on the color blue. Again, I had just come from a peaceful place, and so I started thinking about flow like water. And so I've noticed that when I do that, I relax my body, I relax into a pace, and I try not to push myself or injure myself, and I just kind of accept what is going on around me. So I try to think about the ocean being big and full and strong, and yet I flow and am relaxed. So that was my mindset for those 2 miles. This brought me to a very critical part of the race, which is almost the last part of the race, and that is miles 11 and 12, where I focused on the color purple, and my mantra was run like royalty. So I started thinking upright. I started thinking about shoulders back. I started thinking more about my posture, about looking like a runner, about maintaining a good form for those last couple of miles, because this is when you start getting really tired. And so this made me start thinking about how would royalty run. They would run upright, they would run open, and they would have a good form headed towards the finish. But you're saying, hey, you've just gone through the entire rainbow and you still have a mile 0.1 to go. Well, that's because I spent the last 1.1 miles focused on the color white. Just a bright, energetic white light inside of me with the mantra, find your finish. And so that's what I did, was I just focused myself like a white hot ball of energy, trying to push myself over that finish line. And so that's how I spread out colors and mantras and gave myself some mindset and motivation to get through a half marathon. So there you go. There's how I used colors and mantras to give myself a mindset shift to get through a half marathon. And again, I'm going to give all the credit to Brittany Charboneau, fantastic runner, very inspiring, very energetic, positive, and uplifting. So be sure that you check out her Instagram feed, because she is amazing. Is this something that you've tried before? Is this something that you might consider trying? Do you think that this might be something useful or helpful to you? Why don't you let me know down in the comments below, or you could give this video a big thumbs up. This is your second reminder that if you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure that you click that button. It doesn't cost you a thing, and it keeps you up to date on all the running adventures I'm having all the time. You could also follow me on social media. All the links are down in the description. You can find me across all platforms under the name Running Geek Girl. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm so glad you could be here, and I can't wait to see you next time. Remember to laugh hard, run fast, and be kind. See you guys later.